Now, not necessarily an icebreaker question, because everybody's going to be asking the same question at the event, right? What's the question?
What do you do?
So what do you do? And what's your answer? You don't know what to do.
That's another subject.
Yeah. Now, most people will go into the standard 30-second elevator speech. So in my case, that would sound something like, well, my name is Donna Shannon, and I'm a career coach. So I help people with their job search, with resumes and job search advice, and I just published a book called Get a Job Without Going Crazy. Does that sound like a pretty standard elevator speech to you? And it works in most situations, but it's also very forgettable. So rather than going with those lines, because what happens is that I ask you what you do, and then the next thing goes, have we established anything for the next piece of the conversation? You know, because if you don't care about books, and if you're not looking for a job, do you care about anything I just said? No. You're like, okay, we'll do the cards, and then we'll move on to the next person, right? So that's where you can have a hook in there to get a little bit more interest going. So, for example, these focal points for your elevator speech, you need to pick just one. If you say all three, it's overwhelming, I'm not going to remember it. Networking situation, we need to not overwhelm people, we have to keep it simple. So, for example, if I were to use the key achievement, it would be, well, my name is Donna Shannon, and one of the key achievements that I've done in this past year is I released the second edition of my book, Get a Job Without Going Crazy. Does that sound a little bit more compelling? You know, it doesn't require you to go, oh, you're a career coach, you're going to sell me a resume. It's all like, wow, second edition, was there a first edition? The other one, I just finished. So in my particular situation, this would also be, well, my name is Donna Shannon, and I just finished leading a networking group called the Brown Bag Job Search Group. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So you can mix it up with something like that.
So let me see if I understand you right. You want to combine your elevator speech with a hook.
You're simplifying it. You don't even go into the, for 8 years I did human resources and recruiting and all the rest of these things.
What I'm saying is I would say, hi, I'm Frank Guys, my background is administration, my greatest achievement was blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean...
You can even drop that my background is in administration. So, what would be one of your key achievements from the past?
Wrote a manual for new workers.
Okay. So, it could be, you know, my name is Frank, and one of the key achievements in my past work in administration and clerical was I rewrote a manual for all of the employees. See how it pulled in right there what your job was in the past without going into that standard format that we're all used to hearing. Because what happens with any pattern that we're used to hearing over time? That's right. You tune it out. You start to forget the details of what people are saying because you're thinking about what I'm going to say next, right? So with a very simple focal point, you can pull in your information of what your past job was, but you don't go into the full 30-second elevator speech. This is actually much shorter. Because the whole thing is, I want you to ask me a question. Okay. Then the final one, in my past I was known for. So this is actually the one that I use the most often. So, you know, my name is Donna Shannon, and in the past I was known as the grumpy recruiter who never let your resume get through to HR. Now I help job seekers find new and meaningful employment. So that one really works because I've got that weird grumpy recruiter thing in there. But that works great in a networking situation too. So for example, you know, I'm just going to pick on Naomi because I know Naomi a bit. So my name is Naomi Erickson, and in the past I was known for excellent paralegal work, but now I'm finishing my accounting certificate and hope to sit for my CPA real soon. See how that makes it? It gives us a different picture because it's a little bit broader. It gives a different focal point than that old elevator speech, my name is this, I do this, and I do that. So I'm going to give you a few moments to jot down some ideas on your introductions here. And then when we get into our open networking session, you can try them out on each other. Well, see, that's what's great about this group. It's a safe environment, so you can try them all out, and you know that we're going to give you good support.
Donna,
Yeah,
I'd like a clarification.
sure.
Does the key achievement have to be career related?
That's an excellent question. Jennifer was asking, does the key achievement have to be career-related? And the answer is no. Especially if this is a networking situation. If you were using it for a job search, it might be a little bit more career-related, like you're in the job interview. But what's your key achievement you're thinking of?
I once helped build a house with Habitat for Humanity.
Built a house with what?
Habitat for Humanity,
Well, that's a great one.
it was cost.
Mhm.
So I could say, hi, my name is Frank Geis, I recently got a book published through a nonprofit organization.
Well, that's interesting. What's your book?
Yeah.
It's called Egalitarians in the Bible.
Cool. What's egalitarian?
Well, egalitarians believe that men and women are both created in God's image and should share ministry and leadership in the church.
Well, how interesting. Well, see, that's a very different point of view that we now know about Frank.
It's very compelling.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else have any questions, comments, ones they want to share?
I actually have a question, because
Sure.
I have two different career paths.
Okay.
One, I'm a musician,
Okay.
and then the other is, well, because I'm a musician, I'm looking